So when I was a CrossFit coach, that started in 2011. No, 2012. A year later, I was coaching full time, and that was a year after just doing it part time. So by 2013, I was a full time coach at two different gyms, and that's kind of where my life took off. I started helping people, on the fitness side of things, but I quickly realized that I'm not very good at sticking to just the surface stuff. And that goes with like all my relationships. So even with friendships and people I've gotten close to, I always have had a tendency to talk about the more serious parts of their life. And I've been, one of those people who people tell you a lot that, I've never told anybody this, but then they share it with me, even if we're not very close. So I think there's always been something about me that draws that out in people or makes people feel comfortable, and honestly can hold the space for it. I think I truly believe that no emotion or experience from someone is too dark. So because I have a lot of acceptance of the shadow from a collective point of view, but also the individual shadow, human shadow, and the shadow in myself, I've been able to sit with other people's hard emotions or experiences as they share them. So I think that kind of quality lent itself to the sort of coach that I've become. But back when I was just coaching fitness classes and running a gym, I wasn't really aware of all of these qualities in myself. I just knew that I liked connecting with people at a deeper level. And a lot of my coaching, even when I was doing fitness, it revolved a lot around what was really behind people's challenges or struggles or even their aspirations. So like when I would do goal setting sessions with my clients at the gym, a lot of times we would end up talking more about self-esteem issues or confidence, consistency issues, feelings of depression, things like loneliness, and sharing, like I said, deeper qualities of their life would come up. So it was very obvious to me that fitness is an external avenue for people's feelings or challenges that they're trying to overcome. Fitness will come in, or exercise or fat loss will come in because they think it answers something, but it actually doesn't do as much of the transformational work that most people hope for when they set out on a fitness journey. So basically, in 2019, I had some pretty life-changing events happen in my life. Also in 2015, I had some pretty life-changing events. But 2019 was a big one. And from that point on, I consciously started to move the style of coaching that I do away from purely fitness to more personal, kind of more in the psycho-spiritual realm, which in my view, it's describing people's emotions and mindsets being a motivation behind the behavior. So the psychological part of understanding people and their tendencies, looking at ego, looking at shadow, looking at archetypal psychology as a support system for understanding someone's psychology. But then the spiritual side of psycho-spirituality is looking at the person beyond the personality, looking at you as someone who is energy and light and has kind of taken up a life on earth, but there's a path and a purpose to why you're here. And so for me to blend those two things together now in my coaching is very fulfilling. It's kind of like where I was trying to get to all my life, but I wasn't ready, of course, because we don't ever fall into things before we're ready. We only get what we're ready for and what's necessary for our growth, even if it's, sometimes it can be painful or come in the form of a great challenge or sorrow. But so I did have to go through quite a lot to get to this place now where I feel really comfortable talking about these topics with you and my clients. So the main focus of my coaching is really about looking at what someone wants deeply, looking then at the things that are standing in their way, what's limiting them. Aspects of personality will definitely come into play. That's, personality and ego I use interchangeably. Other things that might get in people's way is like repeating patterns, decisions that they continuously make that might look different on the surface, but really come from the same underlying motivation, which is again driven by personality and ego and shadow. So shadow also comes into play. It's the opposite side of the ego. It's what the ego doesn't want to see or, has suppressed or rejected. And it's basically someone's internal blind spots. It's just parts of you that you're not aware of. So that's the sort of coaching that I use because it helped me grow the most. I've never been able to coach or teach something that I have not personally experienced. So whatever I speak about with my clients, it's because I've gone through a lot of lessons and similar experiences, let's put it that way, to get to the point where I am now. I grew up feeling like I had a lot of suicidal thoughts. It was always an option. I would say I was depressed and felt kind of chaotic inside, especially as I got older. And that was my experience for most of my life, to some degree. It's not like I was always, unhappy, but that's not how these things look. It's, I was still quite functioning, and, it doesn't mean that the experience wasn't there. So when I found a way to break through those patterns and limitations in myself, and I saw my life transform, and then my friends and family who were closest to me started to see that I was changing in a really unique and positive way. To me, that gives a lot of validity to the path, the growth path system that I used and followed and learned about for my own healing. And so once I had the space to learn more about what am I doing, how can it be replicated, what can I go and learn to teach and guide others with. I just lost my train of thought, like where that sentence came from. I don't remember. But I was saying that, once I saw that once I had this space to basically take my lesson and then go and learn how to replicate it or make it, basically I learned a system to use with other people that kind of follows the same healing concept of, what do we look at? What are we looking at in a person when they want to grow or when they're limited by old beliefs or false identity or whatever could come up. Because I had done a lot of my own personal work, I then had a lot of space to give back and work with other people. And so that's where I am now, is I definitely am still doing constant inner work and growing in all kinds of ways, and it's been amazing. But I can also have so much more focus on helping other people, serving my clients, giving them insights that I see and that I have because of the work that I've done, which just freed up more space, more healing capacity, so to speak. So that's just a little bit about where I am, or just a reflection I thought I would share. And I do have 2 spots for clients. So I'm taking only 2 clients between now and the new year. In the new year, starting January, I'm going to be changing what I offer and changing my package structures so that it'll be even more fulfilling for me and my clients. But right now I am taking 2 clients who fit, and not everyone's a fit. So I always, I'm kind of putting feelers out there for the types of people who would be drawn to this message, who are ready to work with some guidance in this way. And follow your intuition. If you have a calling or a feeling that you even want to find out more, I say go for it. Reach out to me. And if it's something that's just not for you, that's okay. That's normal. But if it's not for you and you still like the message, maybe think about someone that it would be good for, and just share my info with them or share this video with them. So I think I'm done. I hope you have a great holiday. You're safe and you really enjoy the things that you are doing and the people that you're surrounded with. Okay? See you next time. Bye, guys.